Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jay Coker, Chairman of the Board of Producers Rice Mill. As you know, we've been bringing you different segments throughout the year. We started early with planting. We went into the growing season. We brought you information on the historic flooding. Well, now we're at harvest, and we're going to walk you through a process of what the farmers and the producers, farmers members, what they think and how they determine if the rice is ready for harvest, and the process of getting the rice from the field with the machinery to the trucks and then into the mill to the delivery point. So a lot of times farmers, they know historically from experience when they feel like their rice is ready. There's also some computerized programs that University of Arkansas has. It's called a DD50, and that helps you determine when your expected harvest date is by various factors of weather and planting date and things. So we have a range of a date when we think our crops will be ready, each particular field. And so a lot of times you come out and check that. If you notice this head of rice, which some refer to as a panicle, but a head of rice, all the grains are yellow, they're hard, they've matured out, there's very little green, no milky or still developing grains. So, this is typically what we're looking at and what we like to see for harvestable rice. This rice will probably be about 18% moisture, to give you some idea. And that's, well within the moisture range where we should already have this rice harvested or be fixing to harvest it. So once we determine if our grain has reached harvest maturity, each day we have to wait till about 10:30 before the dew gets off of the leaf and the grain before we can start harvesting. So that time is spent each morning, 3 to 4 hours typically. The operators are fueling up, they're lubricating the machine, they're checking belts, chains, hoses, all the different moving parts and mechanisms that are affiliated with these combines and how they harvest the grain. These combines basically are, you may think of them as miniature factories almost. So they're separating and filtering the grain from the straw, from the hull, from the chaff. So hopefully if he has his settings right and he has his ground speed correct and all that, the combine operator will have just rough rice that we deliver to the mill in the hopper. Everything else goes out the back, chaff, straw, stalk, anything that like that goes out the back of the machine. There's a series of fans and things that help move and separate the grain. Once the combine is full, then the grain is transferred to a grain cart and then taken to the trucks, which are hopefully staged close to the field. And there's a quick turnaround between getting the grain from the combine to the truck and then back to the combine. These combines today, we're running a stripper header, 32-foot stripper header on 2 different combines. They're cutting about 10 to 12 acres per hour. So in an 80-acre field, which is a 1/4 mile by a 1/2 mile, they should harvest that in about 4 hours, assuming we had no breakdowns, which sometimes we're not always that fortunate.
Hello, this is David Hodges Jr., Producers Rice Mill. I'd like to bring you guys to our unloading. Once the rice has been cut from the fields, the farmers will start bringing the rice in to us, start our drying process. Once the drivers arrive with the rice, they'll be staged in our big lot. Each line in the lot is numbered. That tells the farmer which line that their trucks are in, so they know when the lines will start pulling into one of our 4 drying locations, our receiving locations here. So we've got four locations at Stuttgart here that's receiving rice right now. We'll be looking at the variety, the moisture percentage, and which locations are receiving at that time. So our 4 receiving locations will dump somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 to 500 trucks a day. Typically here lately we've been somewhere around 450,000 bushels on a day. When the trucks are received at the unloading locations here, they'll be sampled for quality and moisture percentage. We'll also give them a weight, so each truck is going to pull up on a scale at the drying location, get a dry or a green weight and the moisture percentage. There'll also be samples taken by each location and sent to our appraisal office to do the final grades, the milling yields for the farmers' lots. So it doesn't take us but just a couple minutes to dump at each location. The truckers, like I say, there is a lot of direction that's being given to the drivers to get them to the proper receiving locations, and we're trying to do everything we can, like I say, to check the quality, but also to keep the variety specific. We want to keep varieties the same as best we can for each location. So there may be some dryers that are dumping long grain, some that are dumping medium grain, or the different varieties as well.
As we move into harvest, kind of the tail end of our growing season, we'd like to show our appreciation to all the customers, everyone that buys Producers Rice, everyone that helps with the selling, the marketing, all the things that are involved. It's been a challenging year from a production standpoint, not only on the farm with weather and the factors that we've had to deal with, but then also within the processing, manufacturing, COVID kind of is still dragging us down. There's a lot of challenges, and we know people have gone the extra mile and are still doing a lot of things above and beyond to be able to handle the crop, sell the crop, mill it, and the customers are very important, and we appreciate you having patience and having confidence in Producers Rice Mill to meet your milled rice needs.